Busch Gardens Williamsburg is one of my favorite parks in the country. The park is stunningly gorgeous between the landscaping and themed areas. But at the park's core, there are some great roller coasters, including the recently opened Pantheon. So in this video, I will rank the park's top 15 rides and attractions. This video will also include a few defunct attractions that I was fortunate enough to experience over the years. Number 15, the Busch Gardens Railway. This scenic train ride is one of the most efficient ways to get around Busch Gardens because this park spans 422 acres. And along the way, you get some great views of attractions such as Pantheon and Invader. Number 14, Da Vinci's Cradle. This Zero flying carpet is a deceptively powerful little ride. You get zero airtime since you slow down so much over the top. In fact, you very rarely even go over the top. But the downswings have solid positive Gs and can really throw you forwards. Up next would have been Europe in the Air and Corkscrew Hill. These simulator attractions in Ireland have been short-lived, but they were fine for what they were. I liked the setup with the pre-shows and the visuals were decent, but the motion was pretty abrupt and jerky. Number 13, Roman Rapids. This Intamin Rapids ride is very well landscaped, but has a severe lack of rapids, so most of the course is pretty tame. However, you can still get mighty soaked in this one from the waterfall finale. Number 12, Les Scoot. This aero log flume has an elevated layout among the trees, and the ride culminates in a nice final plunge. You have a near miss with a buzzsaw, and that drop is pretty tall for the genre. Up next would have been Pet Shenanigans. I loved this animal show, which was a staple at quite a few SeaWorld parks. It was undeniably corny, but I liked the mix of animals and stunts. It really is impressive the park was able to train the animals to perform coordinated stunts in unison like this. Number 11, Escape from Pompeii. This Intamin Shoot the Chutes ride is a spectacle. The indoor elevated turnaround is full of intense fire effects. That makes the final splashdown extra refreshing, but not before you get some floater airtime on the drop. Number 10, Loch Ness Monster. This Aero Looper is one of the most iconic coasters out there. Those interlocking vertical loops also have good positive Gs. Then if you ride in the back, you also get some pops of airtime on the three main drops. The ride does have two flaws though. One, the pacing. The middle section drags with the long and slow indoor helix plus the second lift hill. Two, the shakiness. While I am tall enough to avoid headbanging, the train definitely rattles on the turns and valleys. Number 9, Finnegan's Flyer. This S&S Scream and Swing has an excellent location on a hill, so the ride feels even taller than it is as you stare down the hillside. This one is the usually short cycle though, but the sense of speed on the downswings and floater airtime on the max swings are as good as ever. Up next would have been Big Bad Wolf. This aero suspended coaster was famous for the Rhine River drop, and that was one of the most visually intimidating drops out there. It really felt like it'd snap off the track and fall into the water. The rest of the second half had some wild swinging too. The first half wasn't nearly as intense as you swung through the Bavarian village, but it was certainly scenic. While I do miss this attraction, I do like the one that replaced it more. Number 8, Tempesto. This premier ride Skyrocket 2 gets a lot of hate, but this is one of the better cloned coaster layouts out there. Sure, there are comfort collars, but outside of how awkward they are to load and unload, I don't find they impact the ride experience too much, for me at least. The launches are just okay, but the powerful ejector pop on the main ascent and descent, plus the hang time on the barrel roll, makes it a thrilling experience. Up next would have been Curse of Dark Castle. This old dark ride used the same ride system as Islands of Adventure Spider-Man, and it was pretty good. The visuals were better than you'd expect for a regional park, and the motion was well synchronized. I liked the unique and chilling story, although it was a little difficult to understand at points due to the audio. Number 7, Mock Tower. I genuinely enjoy this Moser drop tower. Busch Gardens is one of the nation's prettiest parks, and seeing it from 240 feet or 73 meters in the air is even more impressive. And since the gondola rotates, you get every angle. Then the drop occurs with no warning. It offers some weak floater airtime and a mild stomach dropping sensation on the way down. Number 6, Verbolten. This Zier multi-launch coaster honors Big Bad Wolf. The second half follows the former's course exactly, but the highlight is the indoor portion. The theming in there is just okay, but the elements are surprisingly good. The LSM launch has decent power, and then there's a strong burst of airtime, a very forceful helix that causes me to gray out, and another surprise I do not want to spoil here. Check out my review if you want to hear everything that happens, but this is a well-rounded coaster. Number 5, Invader. This is one of the smallest GCI coasters, but it packs a punch. The straight first drop gives good floater airtime in the back row, then the rest of the layout has a series of hills that pop you out of your seat as long as you're in the front or back. I think this ride's pretty good pacing too, and its isolated location makes it an underrated night ride. Number 4, Griffon. This is my favorite B&M dive machine, as I mentioned in a review. The initial drop has the usually great suspense and floater airtime, and the entry into the Immelmann has good Gs. But it's the second half where this ride elevates itself and separates itself from the other dive coasters. The second drop has some more floater airtime, there's another okay Immelmann, and then there are 2 more pops of airtime on the way back to the brakes. Number 3, Apollo's Chariot. The original B&M Hyper has a wonderful setting in the woods, and it's smooth as glass. The highlight are the nice series of drops in the back. I love the first drop in particular, but you also get nice floater airtime on the third drop, the first 2 drops in the second half, and the surprising final plunge. While the airtime is sustained, it isn't as strong as the later B&M Hypers, which I mentioned in a review. Number 2, Alpengeist. This B&M invert grew on me in 2021. I have always loved that massive spiraling first drop, but the power and speed of the first 4 inversions blew me away last year. The Immelmann has good Gs into it, the vertical loop has strong Gs throughout, and the Cobra roll has downright violent and wild snaps. The mid-course does slow the train down pretty significantly, but the 0G roll still has some hang time, and the final corkscrew has some mild whip to it. And outside that transition into the mid-course, it is still running quite smoothly. And coming in at number 1 is Pantheon. This Intamin multi-launch coaster was delayed 2 years, but it was worth the wait. I love how diverse this coaster's elements are. The initial launch has some punch, and the 0G winder has outstanding hang time. But the pacing and intensity ramps up once you hit that swing launch sequence. The bunny hills on the launch sequence add a lot of excitement. You get 2 abrupt and surprising pops of ejector airtime in reverse, and another one going forwards. The big spike offers good weightlessness. Then the top hat delivers powerful ejector airtime for all, and the outward bank offers solid sustained airtime. Then you also have a 0G stall that is one of the best inversions out there, with the near misses and the inverted airtime. I have a separate review going into more detail, but this coaster is just so unique and fun. So those are my top 15 rides and attractions at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. What are your favorite rides at this Virginia SeaWorld owned park? Let me know what you think about any of the rides I mentioned, or any you think I missed down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canobie Coaster. Thanks for watching.